Beloved one, these are times right now when there is much of change occurring. You have felt that in your own personal life. You have had questions. You have wondered, what is happening? Why is it happening, and how do I change it? We will speak now about how you change it, because that is the most important next step. You have identified areas where you want to see change, things in your life where you would have change or you would move forward in something. But the question has always come back to, how do I do it? Now we will talk about how you do it. I know that the world says, you can't change things. There are just certain conditions, and you have to live with them. You may not like them. They may be sad. They may be difficult, but you have to live with them and make the best of them. And you will. You will make the best of it, but not the way the world tells you. You will make the best of it by coming back to the beginning of you, by coming back to the beginning of the essence of you, the essence of you, the true being of you. Not what the world defines as you, but the true being of you. You will come back to the place of power. Again, not as the world defines power, but you will come back to the place of power knowing that you are the creative one. You are the extension of the creative one. You are right here creating this reality and the friends you interact with. There is a certain, I will call it a soul group, sometimes I like to refer to it as a pod, because you are of the same pod, pod 454, or as you perhaps like to call it, a soul group. You have traveled, experienced, created together many times. You are all traveling together to the same place of awakening to the light that you are, awakening to the being that you are, and awakening to the illness from which you have come. You see yourself to be a separate point of light. But you know that when you are with another one and they smile at you, there is a certain rapport that you have with them, and there is a light which grows on. There is a light which you feel within. In truth, your whole life can be lived in the space of knowing that you are the light, the other person standing before you is the light, and you meet in a lightness of heart that does not have to be and will not be of what the world tells you. Your news media is very good at painting the picture of separation, separation from your source, separation from each other, separation from any kind of power that you might think or like to have for yourself. But in truth, you are that power. That is why you are here. You would not be here if you did not have the power of the divine which allows you to express as a seemingly separate point of light, seemingly separate. And yet, as I have said, when you meet another one and you are eye to eye with that one, and there is a smile on the face, you feel lighter, you feel accepted, you feel happy, you know oneness. Your touchstone for judging anything which you experience is love. Does it feel loving? Does it feel light? Does it feel happy? If it does not, you can change it, and you will change it, because that is what this lifetime is all about change. It does not have to be difficult change. The world will say to you, if you're going to change something, it's going to be really hard to do. You'd better have all of your ducks in order, you'd better know what you're doing, and it's going to be a struggle. Everything in life is a struggle, the world says. But it does not have to be. You can sail through life on the wings of love. You have felt how easy, how high, how light it feels when you look into the eyes of that special one who loves you no matter what you say, no matter how you look, no matter which sock you put on first, they love you anyway. And you come to a place of self-acceptance, of knowing, well, there is someone else, at least one, maybe if I'm lucky there might be two, who actually likes me. You get to the place where you begin to accept once again your true role, your true reason for being. My reason for being 2,000 years ago was to bring the light and to be what has been called since then a way shower. You are a way shower. You are showing how to navigate through the changes to the awakening. Now, the how-to. The how-to resides within you. The truth resides within you, always has and always will. So the how-to secret is to go within. It is to shut out the world for a short bit. Then you can come back out and deal with the world if you want to. You have lived lifetimes when you have lived in a cave all by yourself, because you have said, I don't want to have anything to do with the world. The world is painful, too much vibration, too much going on. I'm going to live all by myself, and I'm going to pray and meditate the whole time. So you did, at least one lifetime, probably more than one. But then there came a nudging, a thought, an idea. Perhaps I can take my light out somewhere, and I can blend it with someone else's light. Perhaps I'm meant to do more than just stay here and be contained within myself. So you went out, went to the village, went to the monastery to serve. You are still serving. That is why you have come into this lifetime, truly to love, to serve, and to remember. Yes, 3 very good words, clues. How to. You will perhaps want to have something that will transport the mind somewhere else to be quiet. Now, I am not talking about something you ingest or something that you smoke, although you have done this in other lifetimes and or in this lifetime, and there is no judgment. Oftentimes the smoking or eating or drinking has been part of a sacred ritual. However, now I am talking about something vibratory such as your music. There are tones of music that you can ride in the consciousness to a place of peace. That is, in truth, one good method that often has been used, to become one with the tones of the music, to become one with the tones of your crystal bowls. That is why one's find healing with the crystal bowls and the toning. They allow the mind to be very much in tune with the vibration of the sound, and then the heart can speak. Then the healing can happen, and does, because the mind has been put to one side into a place of peace. You have known the technique of the candle, where you will light a candle and you will sit and stare at the candle until there is a feeling of oneness with the light of the candle. That works very well because, again, you put the mind into a quiet space. You know yourself that often you sit down and you say, okay, now I'm going to be peaceful, I'm going to be quiet, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to find an answer to whatever is going on. And the mind says, oh, yes, you'd better try this. Oh, did you remember to? The mind gets very busy. You know how the mind can be. So the first step in the how-to is to quiet the mind. There is the technique of focusing upon the flower where, again, it is like using the candle flame. You stare at the color of the flower, the delicacy of the flower, one petal of the flower, and you become one with the flower. And the mind becomes a bit more quiet, more peaceful. You can go within at that point and find peace, because that is truly what you are seeking. You think you have to have answers for the world, but truly what you are seeking is peace. It is that place of okayness, that place that says, yes, you have always been that which you are. You have always been the love and the light that you are. You may abide in that space perhaps for 1 second, perhaps for half an hour, perhaps for longer. Or many times throughout the day you can stop and take a deep breath and know that that is your clue to come to peace. And then magic happens. Yes, there is magic. At least it feels like magic. The magic happens because an idea will come to you, a feeling of appropriateness, a feeling of, this might be a way to go. It is just an idea. You sit with it, and then you may get very busy doing other things, and it comes back to you. You are very busy doing other jobs, occupying your mind, and then the idea comes back to you. If it does, pay attention. Go within. It does not have to be for a long time, although I guarantee that once you have reached the place of peace within, you are going to want to return to it quite often, because it feels so good. It is a place which connects with the illness of the creativity of you. You are creating what you are experiencing right now. You are creating what seem to be words of wisdom, I hope, coming through this vibratory rate. You are creating the message. You are inviting it. You are asking, I want to know the answer to something, but what I really want to know, what I really want to feel, is how loved I am, and you are. You can run every which way, but you will never get away from the love that you are. That is the good news. You try being very intellectual about things, and the mind loves that, because the mind loves to play. So, in the how-to, What you will do is go first to the place of peace within the heart, the space of peace that has nothing to do. It does not have to do anything. Oh, my goodness, the world doesn't say that. But you do not have to do anything. Just abide in the space of peace. If something occurs to you, that is good. If nothing comes, do not say, "Oh, well, I failed again. I didn't get an idea. I didn't get my answer." Your answer is the peace which you feel when you are in that space. Then if there is something that you need to do, you will be told. But if you do not need to do anything, you can just sit and abide in the place which feels so good. When you are in the space of the heart, the space that the mind has taken a vacation from, that space of peace, I would suggest that the first idea you want to deal with is that you are in charge, because you are. And again, I know that is not what the world teaches you. The world says there are many shoulds, many ways you have to be. But no, you are the one creating. You are in charge. So abide with the feeling of being in charge, even if it is only for a couple of seconds, or perhaps longer, because it will grow longer. Know that you are in charge. You are not the victim. That is the voice of the world that says, maybe you're not good enough. You're the victim. You have to shape up. You have to do X, Y, and Z. You should not be feeling what you are feeling. But I am feeling. So you go to the place of peace within, and you abide with the idea, you abide with the feeling, I am in charge. Capital I am the maker of my reality, because you are, and I choose to be happy. I choose to go forth as light. I choose that I want to make this life something that when I decide to lay down the body and move on to another experience, I will say, that was a good life. I choose to make my life what I want it to be. You do, you can, and you will. You have what they call the tabula rasa, the blank slate to write on, and you make it the way you want to make it. That is what you have been doing anyway, except some of it did not feel as peaceful or as rewarding. But now you are beginning to see that you would not be here, you would not be having this experience if you were not powerful, if you were not creative, and you are creative. So if, therefore, you exist, and I assure you that you do exist, you are creating that which you are experiencing, and if you are experiencing that which may not be exactly happy or fulfilling, you can say, all right, I have finished certain chapters of my life. Now what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Not, what should I do, but, what do I want to do? What really makes my light turn on? Then you start putting the mind to work with the ideas of the heart, to the place where when you get finished with this present chapter, you can look at it and you say, well, you know, that was a good chapter. There was a lot that I experienced. Oh, my goodness, I experienced so much, it was like the fire hose coming at me. Yes, you know that feeling. But you know, I'm still here. I survived it. That allows you to begin to accept the idea that you are in charge, that you are powerful, that you are creative, because you are. You are the extension of the one creative mind. Not as a mind being out there that has to be worshipped. That is an old thought. That is an old thought that you have already played with many lifetimes. Please, Lord, I'll be good. Just give me whatever. Okay, turn that around and ask of yourself, okay, Lord/Lady, what do I want in this next day, this next week, this next decade? What do I want? An exercise I often give to ones who ask me, what should I be doing? What am I supposed to be doing? I suggest to them that they play with an idea of being 10 years, 20 years forward on. Take your age, what you think it is now, and go forward 10, 20, 30 years, and look back at the being that you think you are now. What would you like to do with the intervening years? When you get to be, let's pick an age, 100. When you get to be 100 and you are looking back at you right now at this time, what do you see happening in the intervening years? Well, I see friends. I see golden coins, enough. I don't really want to get hooked on them, but enough that I can travel. I want to see places. I want to interact with brothers and sisters who are perhaps right now seemingly far away. I want to visit other places. I want to be of service. How would I like to be of service? Well, you know, I think it would be fun to do such and such. I've always wanted to work with the small ones, the four-footed small ones. I've always thought that if I could do enough with the golden coins that I could actually be free to have a whole place where I love each and every one of them. I think you have a word for it. Rescue? Is that what it's called? Okay, I could do that. Or you might say, well, no, I don't really want to do that. I'd rather do something else. Maybe write a book. Or, I'd like to play a musical instrument. Oh, well, you know, that would take years to do. Well, what else do you have ahead of you except years? Start out with the small thing known as the piccolo, or maybe the longer one, whatever appeals to you. Allow yourself to play with what makes my heart come alive. Where do I want to be? What do I want to be doing? Who do I want to be interacting with? What kind of people? How do I want to be when I look back from the 100-year-old me, looking back to here? Well, hey, I could do, and then ideas come to you as to what you would like to do. Then you get what they say, you have a term for it, you get turned on. Your light gets turned on, and you begin to say, well, I didn't think that was possible, but you know, and you get the mind to working on, how could this be? You play with ideas. What is important is the feeling that says, oh, I'd really love to do that, the feeling of coming alive in it, before the mind gets in there and says, oh, no, you can't do that. The feeling of coming alive in whatever topic or whatever way of service that you really want to do. By the time you are 100, you look back and you say, wow, I'm really glad I did that. Not as the world judges, but how you judge, how you feel, how you come alive. That is the how-to. Whatever technique works for you, the candle, the flower, the music, the deep breath, the place of peace, come into the place of peace within, and then using the most wonderful gift you have given yourself, the imagination, which is sometimes defined as image action, imagination, how does it feel? How do you feel in that space? Try it on for size. If it does not feel right, okay, try something different. Because, you see, every moment you are creating, every moment. Therefore, why not make it the best that it can be, the way that really makes you become expansive, where you come to the place you feel, I'm really alive. Hey, I really like this. You know, yesterday I felt like, woe is me. I don't think there's anything worth living for. You have felt that from time to time, when you have been caught up in all of the possibilities, probabilities of the world. But then someone comes along and they look directly into your eyes, and your light comes on. And you feel, not think, but you feel, at one. Then all power is given unto you. All power, because you are that power. This is what you have prayed for. This message is what you have prayed for, this message of being one with each other, being happy, being turned on as the light that you are. This is what you have prayed for. Enjoy it. And the ideas in your heart are coming alive. You want to make of this life more than what it has been told to you that you could do. You want to make of this life something that you come alive with, that you are feeling. Yes, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. This is me. The mind is to be the servant of the heart. Not the other way around. Go first to the heart. Abide in the heart, and then let the mind be the servant of the heart. So be it.